And we woke up at like 6 a.m. because it's like a resort, so that we were like spend the day, and we ended up getting there like 1. But we had like a fucking like a food like allowance that you get, like 20,000 pesos. Credit. Yeah. So we're just like at the end of the day, is like still ordering shit. Like we're we're literally leaving in the cars, and we're like, who are we waiting for? He's like, oh, he ordered the salmon.
Yo, welcome to episode 154 of the Joystick Show.
Yay!
A podcast made by friends for friends. And we're going to make friends with you when you like this episode of the Joystick Show and you subscribe to Team Joystick.
Hey.
While you're at it, you can check out some of the stuff we're going to be talking about this episode, which we're going to get to in a second. I mean, you're looking at it right now, but we're going to talk about the structure. We're going to talk about how it all works. We're going to talk about how we're even filming this in the first place. Okay. But let's get on. You down? Yeah. It's nice to see you guys. It's been a long time since the four of us have been together.
Word.
We all just decided to go on extravagant vacations.
Summer vacation
at the same time without really telling anybody either. It was kind of weird. Like I found out you were going on a European trip like a day before you went on a European trip. I think it started with something like I might go to Europe, and then Joey was in Europe.
He was there already.
Yeah.
That week.
Another important thing to note is because of interesting things that happened at the end of your vacation, which just ended. You were the last one to come back.
Very correct.
We had to push our filming day to today, which is Tuesday. And if you know anything about the Joystick Show, is that it comes out on Wednesday. So this is the first time we've ever done the show the day before it has to come out.
Some South Park
which
shit.
is going to be fucking fun for me. Because of that, this episode's going to be real brief, about 40 minutes, not including the shit I just went through and some of the jam yam stuff at the end of it.
45.
I'll be keeping track. Everybody has 10 minutes to talk about their vacations, and we're going to call it an episode.
Yeah.
Sounds good? Sound bueno?
Sounds good.
Who do we start with? I say we start with...
What makes the most sense?
What if we do it in order of how we went on the vacation, right?
Okay.
So that would be you.
Okay.
So, Joey, how was the European countries you visited?
So my father has been really dying to go to London and Paris. And I told him, I said, why don't you and mom go? And like Tatiana and I are old enough to just stay home. And he was like, no, this is a family trip. I want to do it all together. So he saved up money as well as like me and Tatiana chipped in for this trip to London and Paris. So we started off in London. I got to see Buckingham Palace and the royal guards moving back and forth.
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah. Here's like 13 pictures of Joey pointing at stuff in London.
Yeah. Tatiana told me, she was like, you should take pictures. I said, I don't know how to do it. She was like, just take a picture of you pointing at everything. And I was like, there we go.
Bro, for every picture you took like that, Tatiana took 6. Like, I saw her reel. I was like, that's commitment.
Tatiana did a lot.
She committed to the bit.
But what I have to say about London, it was all right. Okay. I can't even be like, oh my god, it was so much fun. I think I remember being in high school wanting to go to London a lot more, and when I finally got there, I was like, all right.
What's the tube like?
The tube, there's they call the subway the tube. It was super close, like you're like feet to feet, like no close a bit no closer than how we are sitting right now. Imagine a train like that, just people like close together like that. It kind of bugged me. It made me feel
Were there any kids on the tube selling sweets and crisps for their rugby team? No. To get new uniforms? Some new black and checkers?
No. But this is their Metro card, basically.
Interesting. The Oyster. What a shitty name.
Word. I was like, that's dumb. This
is pretty sick to have, though. This isn't.
Is that like a library card?
It's like a legit.
That's a
like
Metro
paper,
card.
Right?
That's their Metro card,
though.
Yeah, it looks like permanent.
You could charge it, and probably.
Yeah, it's the New Jersey Transit has some shit like that.
Something that they got both London and Paris down is they recycle a lot. They're very big on like no plastic. Their garbage has like 3 different holes. Like this is for liquid, this is for recycles, and this is for your food waste.
It's for solids, it's for gas.
And like I was looking at it, I was like, wow, why don't we do that here? Like we all just throw everything in one trash can, and coming back, I was like, damn, we feel mad wasteful over here.
Yeah.
food wise in London, it's all Asian inspired. All Asia. There's
Indian, right?
a lot major, yeah. A lot of non bread. Like every restaurant was selling non bread.
It's funny. My mom was just talking about that when I mentioned like the Dorito flavors and stuff. She was like, my dad was like, "Wow, all Indian inspired," and my mom was like, "Why is that?" And I was like, "It's like they owned them for a considerable amount of time."
No word, yeah, and that's their food. Like if you were to tell me what's like British food, London food tastes like, I'm like, it's literally Indian.
It's literally the most bland shit in the world, or the most spice induced.
It's either one or the other. Yeah, and it bugged me out. The thing that I will remember the most about London is we were like in a mall outlet, and there was like a Caribbean spot. It was limited choices, but I saw Caribbean, and I was like, I want that. So I go. They're playing like Trinidadian music, and I go and I talk to the woman. She turns and goes, "What can I get you, love?" And I was like, what the fuck? I was like,
dude, she's already Tracer.
Oh my god. I was like, oh shit.
British accent in London?
No. It was at the Caribbean spot. Like that's what bugged me out the
Were you
most.
expecting Caribbean British?
But he's probably expecting Idris Elba to come out. You know what I mean?
Something.
Boom, and shit. You know?
Oh my god. But yeah, it was. I went to see the Shakespeare Theater, which is something I learned about so much. Cool. Like I learned about that in school. Like,
was it on fire before or after you got there?
No, but funny story because this is something funny. The first Shakespearean theater burnt down because they wanted to have a fake cannonball explosion in the theater. And the minute they lit it on fire, it burned the whole
Turns out it was a real cannonball explosion, wasn't it?
Like, the tour guide said that, and I was, like, holding in my laughter.
Not me.
Because I was like, that's fucking stupid.
That reminds me of
Somebody
my
in the
tours.
back is like, fucking
That reminds
idiot.
me of mine. I'll remember that for later. That's funny.
Oh, my God. And then Paris, I had a lot more fun. There's a lot more culture. There's a lot more, like, restaurants that in their food was good. Tatiana tried escargot. And she was like, it's kind of like a squishier oyster is the best way to
That's what
describe
my dad
it.
said, yeah. My dad, because when I said that, you do the traditional, like, escargot. And he's like, what's so about it? They're like land oysters. And I was like, okay.
Land oysters.
I'll
That's
accept
what they are. Yeah, the Eiffel Tower is mad tall. Like, it's really tall. I didn't expect it to be as tall, like, big as it was. What else? Yeah, I just had there was a Tim Burton museum, like just that so happened to be there that my cousin, shout outs to my cousin Josie, who pointed it out to me. I was like, oh shit. So I got a ticket and I wanted to see it there.
Nice.
And then something my mother wanted to do, because she was like, if we don't do it, we're not going to do it. We went to Disney Paris.
Let's go.
And the littest thing about Disney Paris is that I found out they have the Marvel section, like California does.
Yeah.
And I fucking lost it, man. I saw Spider-Man. I was like, yo! Yeah, he's going he's talking like French, and it was kind of. I was like,
it's not my Spider-Man.
And it was interesting to see. There's a roller coaster like with Captain Marvel and Iron Man, but in Paris, Iron Man speaks French and Captain Marvel is American. She speaks English, and me and Tatiana, I looked at Tatiana. I was like, they gave her the American accent because she's just like snarky. She's always so mean, has something mean to say. The minute I said that, she was like, gee, thanks, Stark. And I was like, what'd I tell you? That's the American.
What'd I tell you?
That's the American. I was like, yep, they made her. They said, give her the English accent.
Oh, my God.
And as for the stereotype that Parisians are like very mean people, the most I got it was ironically Disney World. The happiest place on earth. These people look like they're tired of everything. Like they don't care.
The workers?
The workers. Yeah, they look like they're tired.
The happy Disney cast members?
Nah, not here. It literally felt like, all right, you're on the ride. Good, bye.
Welcome to despair land.
Au revoir.
It was like
they're smoking.
Cigarette.
Puts it out on the child.
Part of
on the top of its head.
Yeah.
Part of me was forgetting that I was at Disney World and not some carny amusement park because of the way that they were acting. This one family, she spoke in French and they didn't move, and then she spoke English and they didn't move, and she was like, I'm speaking English. What, move. And I was like, I've never seen a Disney employee do that. We all make fun of the happy-go-lucky Disney, hi or not, but when you see the like the contrary, it's like, wow.
It's
really,
it's not even breaking character. It's no character. It's to
Yeah.
get the fuck on the ride.
It's like get on the ride.
But
and
when
we're
you think
continuing.
about it, it's kind of weird being in a country and then having to put on this whole facade for another country who mainly kind of like absorbs that content. It'd kind of be like if we had a Paris themed theme park that we had to go work at, where we were like, get on the baguette ride. Whoa, we're gonna live.
Oh,
and then you go back to your apartment in the Bronx. Like it makes no fucking sense. But I'm just saying.
No, I get that. And I brought a bunch of snacks that we tried. I don't know if we're not gonna try them.
Bust that out for the showcase though.
Yeah,
They look good on camera. You have 2 minutes.
This is their nacho cheese flavor called Chili Heat Wave.
Gimme. Chili heat wave.
It's not sun drenched. The bag is just like a lighter red. And did you guys like that?
That one was good, yeah.
I think it's the best one,
I
honestly.
think they're all pretty good.
They're all good. They're just less seasoning.
Cool Original. Speaking of less seasoning, it tastes almost like a Cool Ranch
That's
Dorito.
what they called me in high school.
This one just straight up tasted like ranch.
Yeah, it's just like minus all the dust.
They should have fucking got rid of cool instead of keeping that one and just kept the ranch part.
This is sweet chili.
Oh, I didn't
pepper.
have this one. How
Have
was this one?
That one's good,
Sweet chili.
It tastes like
pepper?
sweet. It tastes like the purple bag kind of.
yeah,
It tastes like the purple bag.
but less like, you know.
Yeah. It tastes like a mixture of that and the barbecue one.
Here's the barbecue one. Speaking of,
On cue.
Did you guys have this one?
Yeah, that one's
It's
good.
tight.
What the fuck is goo? What's the goo barbecue style? G-O-U-T. I doubt
Gout?
it's goot.
Gout.
a boot
Like the foot.
Gout.
Oh, good.
and savory paprika.
That one tastes like barbecue Pringles.
That's.
Yeah.
It does.
Savure paprika. What is paprika?
It's
Is it pepper?
It's
tastes like
It's
the
a red
tomato.
spice.
Yeah, it's a spice.
That just tastes like tomato though, but
I told Jerry that'd be good with salsa.
I like this.
Yeah, it says
I think I'm gonna bring it Sunday. There's
I-
gonna be a plate.
fuck
just
with
That
that.
vibe with that. You know what's funny? I had the ketchup Doritos that came out like here a little while ago. That they came out the mustard ones that were ass.
The ketchup are good
But
though.
the ketchup Doritos tasted like salsa. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Can I say one last thing about this Paris
Yeah,
trip?
one minute.
30 fucking seconds. Bro.
Okay, they announced Captain America, the Sam Wilson Captain America, and no one clapped. It was mad uncomfortable.
That's hilarious, actually.
I have a video
Simon
of it.
Wilson.
I have a video of it. Sam Wilson comes out in an RV, and they're like, "Hey!" And you see it's like dead silent.
Who's-
That it's the new Black Captain America.
Oh yeah.
And it was like dead silent. So I filled the awkwardness, but like, yeah, woo, inclusivity. And they were like not like having it. They were like, okay, he's here. That's the vibe a lot when the
Yeah.
mascots come out. It's like, okay, he's here.
All right.
There
They're very reserved people. It's not like Americans going like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not hugging.
Hard to be patriotic
trying
for
to-
Captain America when you're French.
When you're in French. I thought the same thing. I was like, why are they showing him off? This little boy looked at him. He was dressed as Captain America, and he was like, come here, let's give you a picture. And he was like, no.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
Marvel's
here for
kind of
Mickey.
washed.
I'm here for the mouse.
That's-
All right. Good. Cover the
Good.
bases. If you had to rate your trip 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10? I'd take it. That's an 8.5.
Pretty dope. Pretty
A
dope.
pretty high
I
trip.
like that. I like that.
So while Joey was in Europe, I went to Florida
You were
and I took
Florida.
I took some cliff notes that I could refer
Oh.
to for my 10 minutes. You know,
Okay.
you just have to be on top of these things
Nice.
sometimes.
You had 8 minutes left.
How I know. I took 2. Okay.
I know. I'm joking.
Fucking.
You got a full 10, baby.
All right, here we go. Fucking my vacation started kind of weird. I actually called my parents the day. Remember we talked about the Metallica concert last week. I called my parents the day of that, and I was talking to them. And when I talked to my dad, he sounded like very sick.
Yes.
And I was like, "Is Dad okay?" And my mom was like, "No, he's been sick since like Thursday or whatever." So when I got to Orlando and landed, I could tell he was like not feeling well. He did the typical dad thing, like, "I'm fine, we can do everything." And it's like, you're dying, like you're literally dying. So we took him to the first med, and of course this guy got COVID on the cruise ship.
Yes.
So our vacation, like the first 2 days, were just like quarantined from each other.
Oh, nice.
So it had like an interesting start, but it leads me to talk about the first thing I did in Florida, which was go to the Macaroni Grill.
Okay.
And I'd just like to start off by saying, fuck the Macaroni Grill. For what it's worth, they had great appetizers. I had
That's what I figured.
I had like these mac and cheese bites that were so good, and I thought this was a little audacious. that comes with a melted cheese dipping sauce.
Oh, so it's double.
But
Double
it's
the
fantastic.
No, like I would say that it would just make the mac and cheese cheesier. That sounds like a vibe.
And then we had these fried mozzarella triangles that you dip in a marinara sauce.
Ooh,
and I
yeah,
explained to Dylan that it was like a very fine breading. So you just crack through the breading, and it's, you know, stretchy
like TGI
mozzarella.
Fridays.
It's fantastic. It's great. It's the macaroni grill. They know what they're doing.
Okay.
It's Italy. Okay. Nobody encompasses Italian food like the macaroni grill. Now, the reason I'm not a fan of the macaroni grill is because when I got my entree, I was expecting to get like this, you know, their whole shit is like you can make your own pasta. But the pasta I wanted, they didn't have. Like, they don't have penne. I was like,
fuck? That's the best
That's
one.
that's like one of the best ones.
That's literally how the sauce gets in the pasta.
And
There's
then
a hole for that shit,
and they didn't
bro.
have vodka sauce.
What the fuck?
It had all these like other 15 fucking sauces that I didn't want, and then no vodka. So I asked the waitress, I was like,
Can you
"Excuse me,
mix
do
the
do you
marinara
have-
and the
yeah,
cream
do
and
you
make
have
a vodka?
sauce?"
Like, can we do
and
it?
she's like, you know, sometimes if you ask, I can go to the back and we have items from before, so I'll check it out for you. And I was like, thanks. And then my mom wouldn't shut up about how the waitress had a crush on me the whole time. And I was like,
She just wants me to enjoy my food.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening
I
here.
think she just wants me to be happy.
But, you know, overall, macaroni grill, 6 out of 10 experience. Get some fucking vodka sauce. Get on the mat.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fuck, man.
Fucking, eventually my dad got over it, which was nice. We were able to drive into Melbourne.
He stopped being a bozo.
Yeah, he stopped
The way-
being a fucking
the way
bozo
you
with
talk
it.
about it. Yeah, you know.
He got his shit together. The Pavloxin or whatever that shit is called started to take effect. And we drove to Melbourne, Florida, which is where the rest of my family live. We went to the Airbnb, which is pretty dope. Played mini golf.
Okay.
Shot very close to par. I was surprised with myself. Par was 40. I shot 45. Not too, not too shabby.
Nice.
Got a hole in one on the second to last hole. I was feeling nice.
Okay.
That being said, we have to do that at some point in the near future.
I
Whole
want a
last
mini
tournament.
golfing.
I'm kind of obsessed. One thing I wanted to mention about my trip. Still got 7 minutes. Fucking honestly spent a lot of it just hanging out with my family, which I didn't really understand how much I needed. Like, I was really looking forward to it, but I didn't know how. I'm gonna get like kind of cheesy with it, but I didn't know how much my soul just like needed to be with the people I grew up with, like my cousins Jordan and Justin, my uncle Steve and Tita Nana and Jeremy and all those people. So holy shit, was that just a great time of just hanging out. I was in a pool like 80% of that vacation.
Nice.
I was just in water at some point. So shout outs, love those guys to
Are those
death.
family members living in Florida?
Yeah. So
And
That's
it.
the vibe I get with my family. In
And that's
Florida.
also special too, because it's like you don't see them as much, so it's like that. It's
Yeah,
like you're
exactly.
filling in that gap,
Exactly.
kind of. You know?
I think, yeah,
It makes
I
sense.
I
love
can
my
relate.
cousins.
my cousin Jordan introduced me to my new favorite card game. I think Jerry's new favorite card
Yeah,
game.
that game is fun.
Phase 10, which me, Jerry, and Jose played twice the other night. Jose's kind of addicted as well. I think he's just more addicted because he hasn't won yet. And Jerry's won twice. Go fuck yourself.
Jerry wins
Yeah.
everything. so
Jerry
I can
wins
make-
everything.
that-
But I bought it because my cousins Jordan and Justin got me into
Oh, you
it.
showed me the box.
Yeah,
This is the day.
and
I've seen
we'll
this.
play
You
it
told me
later.
about it. Yeah.
Fucking and you know, I might see a lot more of them considering that we're probably gonna get a house down there pretty soon. So I'm leaving you. No, I'm kidding. I'm leaving you guys for a month out of the year.
Yeah, month,
Oh.
maybe month and a half if you really need it.
Yeah,
that's
but
nice.
fucking, we'll shoot like 4 episodes in advance.
Good
and then-
vibes.
But point is, I'm really happy for my parents because that's something that they've been literally talking about since I was about to go to high school, and here I am many years after high school. So shout outs to my parents. They finally found a model of a house they liked called the Stardom, and for what it's worth, it's a beautiful house. It's really nice and big, and very much them. It was funny because like when we walked in, I was like, "This is the one," and they were like, "Yeah," like they both kind of knew. So kudos to them. I hope it works out, and then hopefully I'll be able to see a lot more there of those family members. And what's also cool is my parents don't want to move there full time either. We're gonna actually like keep both houses, and they have like full like their whole thing is like whenever you go to Florida with the guys, like you have a house there for the week. So we're set.
Bro,
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's
like,
a vibe, right?
Yeah, I
Just trash the house party.
I call a room. It's like, oh, what's that? It's like that's Dylan's corner. Don't go over there.
It's the office, but you just
Yeah.
sleep in the corner.
Exactly.
And then the last thing I wanted to talk about on my trip, fucking the food I ate.
Yes.
This was important to me.
Yo,
I had to-
Floridian
I
cuisine.
had to put this together. I mean, if you look right there, there's the macaroni grill with a down arrow. See, so that's how I knew to start with that. But I went to 3 other restaurants, right? Quick shout out, we had a beach day. You know how like if you're not Dominican, you eat sandwiches on the beach, and then if you are, you eat spaghetti. That's what I've heard as
yeah,
Muslim.
exactly.
You'd love the macaroni grill.
It's
Jerry.
literally it's like fruit or like a sandwich in foil, and then if you're Dominican, it's some sort of pasta or like
cooked dish.
Yeah, it's like a crazy dish that you need napkins and shit. Like,
Yeah,
why'd you go to the
like a
beach
whole
with
meal.
this?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like rice and shit.
Yeah.
You made fajitas. It's like, how are you cooking this on the beach?
It's that hot.
Yeah.
Fucking I just wanted to give a quick shout out because we had a beach day and I wasn't expecting to eat, but my aunts went to like this supermarket where they said that they make the best sandwiches, and they all say that.
Oh yeah, they do.
But I had half of a sandwich that was like this seeded Italian bread with bacon, ham, Swiss, and like something else. Holy shit, it was like the best sandwich I've had in so long. I was like, this is
not a good sandwich.
Yeah, especially on the beach, that like enhances it more because you're hot and hungry.
Word.
So shout outs to that. But then we went to restaurants. I didn't take a shit in like 5 days that I was there, and I was starting to get worried.
Maybe we'll get to this, but like your body gets into a weird
Right?
thing for like 2 days where you don't shit and then you shit a lot.
That's exactly what happened.
For me,
we went to a restaurant, and I really want to shout this restaurant because it's called Lou's Blues.
Okay.
I think it's in Melbourne, Florida. My new favorite restaurant.
All
the vibe is really awesome. The service was incredible. The food was some of the best food I've had. It's, like traditional, like American food. Like, they make burgers and ribs and all that stuff. Like barbecue, I guess.
Yeah.
But just super solid. And I went into this meal thinking, like, I'm going to eat as much food to get this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to push it out. So the amount of food I consumed in this one dinner, I had their fries are incredible. That's already like a great start. Like when you eat the fries and you're like, this is top tier, like the rest of the food coming is gonna be great. Onion rings, battered shrimp, coconut shrimp, ribs. I had a cheeseburger. I had chicken tips.
Yeah.
And then I washed it all down with a peanut butter jelly shot with peanut butter whiskey and raspberry liqueur.
Oh, okay, nice.
And then I had ice cream. And then I finally I went, and it was the best meal I've had for a number of reasons. So just shout out to Lou's Blues. I give that a solid 9 out of 10. And whenever we go to Florida, we have to go make a stop.
You're making me want to go there.
It's great. So the atmosphere is really cool too. It's like a dive bar type thing. They had like live music that played from the above section, so it was pretty sick.
Well, now I'm just hungry.
It's a vibe. Yeah, I'm ready to eat. Then we went to another restaurant that also specializes in barbecue called Low and Slow. And this may have been the worst restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
Worse than macaroni?
Yeah. Way worse.
No, I think Bobby's onto something. As someone who's been to good barbecue is really good, but bad barbecue
Oh yeah, no.
is not.
So I opened the menu, right?
About it.
And the vibe of the restaurant's okay. It's pretty quiet. I'm sorry. I'm really not saying this in at least I'm not saying this in a disrespectful manner. There was a woman who served us who was incredibly sweet and took care of us, but she was missing all 4 of her bottom front teeth. And my cousin Justin would not stop talking about it to the point where it was kind of the funniest part of the meal.
That's the low part of the low and slow.
Apparently.
Her bottom teeth.
So shout out to her. She was great though. But it's like I can't get that out of my head at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the menu, and this is an important thing that I have to mention. I got potato skins as an appetizer. Okay? Very important to mention right now.
All right.
As I'm going through for my entree, there's multiple mentions of the pulled pork. There's like the pulled pork sandwich, the pulled pork this, the pulled pork that. And under every single pulled pork item on the menu, there's this snarky little comment that's like, the reason you came here. So I'm like, fuck it, this is the reason I came here. I'm going to switch it up. I've had a lot of chicken. I've had a lot of burgers and shit. And I had macaroni grill. I'm going to have some pulled pork.
Put
Put that in a roll.
And it's only for that item?
That shit was drywall. I was chewing on that for about 15 minutes. I had to spit it out. It's been a while since I spit out food. Like I was chewing it, and I felt myself getting nauseous the more inedible it felt. Yeah. So I just spit it into a napkin, and I put it on my table, and I was like, that's the end of Low and Slow. Now, before when I mentioned that the potato skins were an interesting thing, we were at like a kid's table, which was funny because there was like 20 of us. So like they had this whole setup for like 15 people.
But it's like for
and then,
like a children's party.
Yeah. So all the kids, even though we're all full grown adults, like the youngest of us was 19, are sitting in the booth, and then all the adults are on like the long, table, the parents and stuff. So that was also important because we didn't really have a chance to communicate with them about their food experience.
Yeah.
Found out at the end, everybody loved their time at Low and Slow because everybody got the fucking baked potato loaded. And of course, the fucking potato skins I got were the best thing I had. So I was like, I should have just had the bigger potato skin. But everybody was like, anybody who had the meat was like, nah, that was not the go. So sorry, Low and Slow, low and blows. Tell you that much.
I started laughing to myself because you said the woman was missing her front 4 teeth. There was like special of the day, the 4 teeth sandwich.
Mhm.
Like, look at that.
And real quick, just one more thing to shout out because I am running out of time in my 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd mentioned to Dylan my last day there. I was very hungover from my previous night at Low and Slow. And we went to a really amazing breakfast and brunch spot called First Watch, where I had an antioxidant drink that instantly cured my hangover with pineapple and watermelon. It was delicious.
Huh.
Nice.
And then my appetizer was a loaded cornbread muffin with cheese and bacon inside of it, but still sweet, mad delicious. And my entree was 2 fat slices of gourmet French toast with powdered sugar, cinnamon, and a berry compote.
Every time when people say white people don't have a food culture,
brunch.
That's the white people
It's
food
brunch,
culture.
baby. And it was delicious. Well, it was the best breakfast I've had in a long time. And then unfortunately, we went to the airport to suffer a long 5-hour delay.
Yes.
Which gets trumped by the delay at the end of our next person's vacation, Jerry Day.
Yeah.
How was DR, Jerry?
Yeah, it was fun. Like the first few days was just like we went to the actual like reunion, like family reunion type.
So
deal.
it was for a reunion because you mentioned like
but it was like only it was like spread out like for a few days. It wasn't like consistently like every day.
Yeah.
Right. So like the first few days we took like a coach bus, and it was like full of everybody, and we went up to like a place called Monte Cristi, which is like towards like up a mountain kind of. And we did just like hiking and stuff like that. We stayed in like a hotel. We went to like a bunch of beaches, stuff like that. So that's like where I got the most of my tan.
Lit.
But I mean, I was wearing like a hat and sunglasses, so my face didn't get really tan. My shoulders got super
I didn't even know
burned.
you got tanned. You're just always dark to me. How that works.
I mean, the back of my neck and my shoulders pretty
That's
much.
what gets hit the most.
My shoulders are like peeling still.
I don't know. Now that you say it, you got a pretty dark back neck.
Yeah. I don't got the round freaking like a straw hat, man.
Yeah, you gotta get one of those. I bet your dad has a couple of those.
Nah.
He looks like he could rock that shit.
Yo, I just want to say your family events are always like lit. I remember when we used to go to your house, you had this portrait of like all your family members wearing like different color coded shirts.
Joey, that's the picture. That's like the first picture you walk up
I love
to.
that photo, bro.
It's the best photo.
That's an awesome photo of you. I want to fight my family.
What color are you? Are you like gray or something?
I think we were gray.
That's hilarious.
But like most of the family went this time, not as much.
Did you do Olympics again?
I would say like 80% of those people went.
Well, it was like only you for your family,
Yeah.
right? Because like Andy couldn't go, Rob
Yeah.
couldn't go. Your dad was there the week before.
Yeah,
you could have scheduled that a little better. But.
But yeah,
That's lit.
after that it was just like I don't know, like similar vibe to Bobby, where it was just like hanging out with my family, like my cousins, stuff like that. That I don't see that often. Live in like Providence or DR or whatever. Like my cousin just became like a doctor. She's like my age.
It's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of wild.
Wild.
That's that shit that I'd be like, that's awesome. And then I get to the hotel room like, should have stayed at school.
But yeah, it was fun, and yeah, like I went like horseback riding, stuff like
Get
that.
the fuck
That's
out of
so
here.
Yeah,
fucking
have
lit.
You can't just say that, Jerry. That's some shit you say in the chat. You lead up with it like, guys, on the podcast.
No, my aunt, she just sent me a picture actually today.
Oh,
I didn't have a picture. I didn't have it. So.
send me that shit.
Hey, let's go.
I want to see Jerry on a horse.
Holy fuck.
I mean, we just like walking. It was like chill.
You know, you just go. You
Jerry,
know.
shut the fuck up. You were on a horse. Like,
Firstly, can I say that when I was imagining like your guys' trip, I was imagining it like I'm imagining Jerry's trip in Espanol. You know what I mean? Like I'm imagining like they're getting in the bus. It's black and white.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a whole different experience.
It was like half Spanish, half English. Like most of my family speaks English over there.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, we got like one of my aunts and uncles has like a English school, so like everyone just goes there.
Oh, dope.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
like they teach English,
No, they own the school. They teach English at the school.
but
And
is
they
that all they
yeah.
teach? Or they teach other
Pretty
stuff?
much just English.
Oh, okay, that's
My
what
other
English
aunt,
school.
Oh, yeah,
my
that's
other
what I
aunt
was
and
like.
uncle have an actual school.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was just wondering if it was a school that adopted English as its language or a school that taught.
Right.
English.
Yes. Yes.
There we go.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Important distinction to make.
Yeah.
I want to ride a horse.
Did some, Dominican stuff. Drank some Presidente. Ate some
You have to,
chimis.
of course.
President.
Yeah,
Me and
of
Dylan
course.
did that.
President.
I got a picture of one that has a little Dominican flag in it. I can send you.
Nice.
Just Jerry on vacation is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Like Jerry on vacation is enough. Jerry on a horse.
Jerry on like like his homeland vacation.
Did you have to wear a helmet
A helmet for what?
for the horse?
No. You just get
No,
on a horse.
I don't know. This
Sorry,
guy.
but there's no
This
rules.
guy.
Come on.
Yeah, it's like, you know,
Safety?
go left, go right,
Come
back
on.
to stop,
I just
and
didn't
kick
want my boy to get
fast.
reeved.
Yeah.
They said kick to go fast. He wasn't going faster, man.
It
It was only when like the
I like
Should have kicked it harder.
no. So it got fast when the guy that like I guess like
Gestured?
trains all the horses. No, when he whistles, all the horses just start fucking booking it, bro.
That's great.
That's fucking great.
Yeah, it was fun.
How was your beach trip?
How was my beach trip? It was like a beach trip like every other day. It was like 15 minutes because everyone was like, so like on the tour, like the first few days, we went to like 3 different beaches, but we stopped at them for like 15 minutes each. So I'm like, bro, like
That's not the
you
beach.
can't even be on the beach really because they
Even
want
I
to
don't like
take
being at the beach that
pictures
long,
and stuff.
That's not the beach.
We did like a tour on like we went on a boat and we stopped at this island and we like walked all the way around the island. I didn't realize until like we left.
And you got
And I
back
was like,
that
I
was a
like, damn,
circle.
we just
Is that
walked around the entire
Is that the
thing.
one we did? Imagine.
Yeah, right.
They had some like salt mines or something. I was like, that
Oh,
was
that's
like the
dope.
weirdest tourism.
What about that trip you guys drove down for?
Which one?
You said that you had a bit of a vehicle mishap.
Oh yeah, so that was on like the last day. So like we rented out one of the cars because we didn't have enough cars, and the car that we rented out was like the most busted car. Like this thing was not making it anywhere, bro. Like this was meant to stay like in the town, and we were going to like a resort that was like I don't know,
Far.
like 3 hours away.
Oh
Shit.
Yeah. So we're driving, and my cousin that's driving, he's like, "Yo, the it's like an old car, so it's like kind of like weirdly automatic where the the gear stuff to change and stuff, but it wouldn't change from 2 to 3." So he's like, "All right, I guess it's just
We're driving at
Yeah.
20 miles an hour.
yeah, right." We was driving like 40, and my aunts that are like driving the other cars are like driving like 60. So we're like, "All right, fuck it." But eventually we're driving, and he's like, "Oh well, the brakes stopped working and the gas stopped working." So we're on the fucking highway, and he has to pull into this like we luckily pulled perfectly into like a gas station before it like dies.
Yeah.
And we have to wait there for like the Dominican AAA to like figure shit out.
Crazy.
Oh my God. The
Yeah.
big triple A.
They're just there. They're showing up. They're just hitting it with different
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
And we woke up at like 6 a.m. because it's like a like a resort, so that we were like spend the day, and we ended up getting there like 1. But we had like a fucking like a food like allowance that you get like 20,000
Food
pesos.
credit.
Yeah. So we're just like at the end of the day is like still ordering shit like we're
Get it
fucking-
all, get
Yeah,
it
we're
all.
literally leaving in the cars and we're like, who are we waiting for? He's like, oh, he ordered the salmon. Literally at
We're
fucking
not
like
even there for
11:30
activities,
at
you're
night.
there for
We're like,
fucking
he's
orders.
waiting for the salmon.
That's great. Oh my God.
But yeah, and then the last day, so we're leaving, and my flight to leave was at like 5:30 p.m. and JetBlue gets delayed until like fucking the flight's at 10:30. So I ended up getting home at like 4 a.m.
What
but
was your delay for that you got reimbursed? Did they say?
They didn't really say. I mean, I could look.
I
it up,
mean,
but-
JetBlue's usually good like that, though. If JetBlue's late, they just give you money.
Because we also had a 5-hour delay. We were supposed to leave at 7:30. We ended up leaving at almost midnight. We
Mhm.
also got home like 3 in the morning, but we didn't get reimbursed because it was an FAA ground stop at JFK for thunderstorms. So it wasn't the airline's fault.
It was
I
delayed
mean,
since the
okay.
morning because I know I have someone that works at JFK on my Instagram, and they were like delays like early in the morning. So it was just like
Probably just the
Yeah.
airlines in general.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Just everybody.
And
Yeah.
then fucking Dylan caught a delay
Woo,
for
I did.
very different reasons.
Yeah.
I meant we'll get to it. when
You
you
d-
move.
didn't.
You know what's funny?
That's
I
a
caught a
good one.
delay in Paris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I caught a
The
delay.
delay friends.
Isn't there like a pilot shortage or something like that too?
I don't know, man.
Or
They're
there
on
was?
strike.
Bringing up the current events now, Jerry. Come on.
I want to give Dylan his 10 minutes and not to sound not that there's any controversial thing about this, but one of the pilots on one of the planes I took was a very attractive female, and I saw that and I was like,
There's not really many.
I was
Yeah.
like, you're cool.
You're a woman.
Like I'm out of your. I mean, you're out of my league, but you know, if I can, I could
like
dream.
miles and miles out.
You know?
You're like
I could
She's
dream
in the
fly.
sky.
Yeah.
Nah.
way out of there.
Anyway, how was Chicago?
Chicago was
Chicago.
a very interesting experience. I wish I visited the home of Chief Keef, but I did not.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I went there.
you heard that, right?
Is that Hunter outside?
You want me to open it?
Yeah.
Get the boy. Yeah, so I was in Chicago. I got there Thursday night, which I'm not really a big like night flyer, but taking a night flight's kind of cool. Like I showed up to the airport, it was empty. TSA was 30 seconds. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got on my
TSA was
flight. There was no one at the terminal. Like all the seats were empty. I was like, oh shit, you could just get on. But a thing that I feel like a lot of people were neglecting. I mean, I don't know how Joey thing is, and I know your Airbnb was cool, but I feel like a lot of the vacation has to do with like where you're staying.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's a big, because it's like when you first show up. So I stayed at the Hilton Homewood Suites.
Okay.
So I had like a whole like apartment set up.
Nice.
You know, it was like you had the kitchen, a dining room, bedroom, Hunter shitting.
Yeah.
You know,
That perfect living experience.
Yeah, the whole shebang.
Reminds you of Max, right?
But this 5-star hotel, or I'd like to think it likes to think it's a 5-star hotel, complete like shithole in like execution.
Okay.
Has a fitness room, 3 treadmills, maybe but some weights. That's it. That's the whole.
Mine was even worse.
That's the whole
honestly.
fitness room, but it's like a 20-story hotel.
Yeah,
my
that's
shit.
unacceptable.
So the pool, kiddie pool. I tried going to the pool at 10 at night, filled to the brim with children. I don't know what the fuck was going on in there, but like they didn't even let you in. They were like, "There's too much fucking kids in here, bro." Yeah, kind of dirty, but you know, the room itself, 10 out of 10, right?
Gotcha.
Unparalleled. But the main issue I came into on this trip was because I went with my girlfriend and then her sister and fiance.
Yeah.
And all of us except for him like learning.
Huh.
Yeah. So we ended up substituting all the museums for like, you know, the tours, you know, because tours they're essential. So we did the river like architecture tour, which my guy kind of sounded like Cookie Masterson from Jackbox.
Okay.
So I was having a great time. He's like, this is the bridge where the Dave Matthews Band poured shit on people. And I was like, I'm so happy we talk about
questions.
that. I honestly was like, you made my day, and he like put his hand on me, and I was like, the tour guy touched me. Yeah, great. This is fucking fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know what it was, but I think it has to do with like the fire, which is everyone on the tour talked about how like basically in the 1800s Chicago just burned down
to the ground.
So everyone just like gave donations, they just gave books, and I assume everyone just built a bunch of buildings and then jerked off to how nice the buildings looked. But yeah, I mean, it's a fucking beautiful city, and it's like all the streets are really wide, so I feel like you can actually like see the buildings. Okay. You know, it's not like Manhattan where you're like, ooh.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we did a tour of the Pedway, which is like the underground, like imagine like a subway.
That doesn't sound like a good name.
That doesn't.
I wouldn't want to go on a trip to the Pedway.
Yeah, so it's essentially like imagine like the like subway, like imagine like a subway connection, like your train, you know, your transition to going to a different train, but it's just for walking, like you're going to like across, but you want
like
to
an underground
yeah, and then there's like some spots are just like, and then it just turns into like a Macy's. You're like, the fuck, because it's like it always corresponds to the building underneath it, so that's always really cool. We did the Ghost and Gangsters tour, which is basically just about all of the tragedies that have happened in Chicago, and then the tour guide making a joke out of it and him fucking nailing it. So shout outs to Ty for having to talk about like, you know, people, the first ever serial killer, Al Capone, straight up murdering people and decapitating them in the middle of the day, but making light out of it. Yeah. So honestly, thank you so much for doing that. That really made my day. The best part of the trip was my Saturday night where we went to a French place. Really living through the called Le Petit Paris.
Le Chicago.
Yeah, in Le Chicago. The guy who was the host was also the waiter. He was also the chef. He was the only guy
in this restaurant.
Yeah. So
this guy's playing Overcooked by himself.
Yeah, literally. But he's an 80-year-old fucking French man. Yeah. So shout outs to Ellen for really Alan, you know. Yeah, Alain. But he really came in the clutch there. We tried like $300 worth of food, but all of it was incredible. He just like, again, joke timing, 10 out of 10.
At any point, did he have a mouse on his head?
He did not.
It felt like that vibe.
He also just like kept like he would always like, he's like, where is my pen? And he would just like pull it out of his hat, and he's like, I need a calculator. And he like pulled it from underneath his shoe. I'm like, is this like Inspector?
Old men are just effective.
Yeah, old men are just like, he can't get around, but he's making do, you know?
My dad gets old, I'm gonna buy him a utility belt. Yeah. Like Batman.
So then and in this time, like this entire trip was like, we just tried to like fit as much as we can. Bobby even said that like, you know, I did a lot on like a 4-day trip, and I really did, but we had to all cram into an Uber to catch the Ferris wheel. because they have like a giant Ferris wheel on the pier, and it closes
gotta
at
catch
10.
the Ferris.
Gotta
wheel.
get the Ferris wheel, because at 9:59 you get on the Ferris wheel, and that's when the fireworks start.
Oh, that's hype.
And then so it was like you had the skyline behind you, and then the fireworks in front of you. You know,
Very nice.
very nice.
Was
Very
that
nice.
nothing better than this picture? That
Nothing
you posted?
better than
Nothing
this.
better than this.
Nothing. And a
I wanted to be more of an asshole with that. I wanted to be like, that's what I wrote to it.
No, literally, everyone was an asshole about it, and I went along with it.
I wanted to. I wanted to be like, really? Nothing better than that, Dylan? There's nothing better.
Yeah.
But I was like, my boy's having so much fun right
And yeah, it really worked out. I went to a Cubs game. Very, very fun. I wanted to wear the other team, but I didn't want to commit that much.
now. Gotcha.
And yeah, I want to say that my Monday ended very strange when I had a delay.
I had a question about this. But
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So when someone has like a medical problem on a plane, they're way too fucking secretive, bro. We're all in this fucking together. Please just tell me what's going on. Because I think a guy was just like way too drunk.
Was your girlfriend involved at any point?
No.
I was curious about
No.
that.
So what happened was where the plane already is like, my plane was supposed to get back at LaGuardia at like 7:30, 7:45. I think that was like the original time for it. We get to the airport. It's already like 20 minutes, 30 minutes late. It's delayed, right? So we all get onto this plane, but we're not really going anywhere. We're all still sitting there, blah, blah, blah. We start to take off a little bit. Like we start to get to the runway, but then we just stop in the middle of the runway. And we just stop, and then we just reverse and go back to the thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So it's like, yeah, and the pilot literally gets on and says, we have a situation. We are waiting for somebody, which is the most brief statement I've ever fucking heard, man.
That's clear and concise.
So yeah, but very clear and concise. So we're waiting for like 30 minutes. Finally, 4 EMTs get on the plane. I'm like, what the fuck? And they just yank this guy out of his fucking seat, like very roughly, and go. And I just assumed this guy was like really sick and drunk, and he wouldn't get off the plane.
Gotcha.
So they had to
What
get
if
him
it
up.
was an emergency? What if
Yeah.
he was like
What if he
carrying
had to
bombs?
be ripped out of that?
Yeah, he was stuck and he couldn't move. But yeah, and then the pilot tried to pull, and now we're waiting for refueling. But I obviously see the fucking EMT in the cockpit still. I'm like, no, that's not it. I think we're. I think.
Like, why
yeah.
can't we be honest?
Yeah, why not be? Just say, hey, the EMT's taking really long. This lady writes really slow on this fucking notepad, and we're all just trying to get
He's
back
like,
home.
"All right, now we gotta wait for the tire pressure. And make
Yeah,
sure that's-
literally, yeah, he's like, they're gonna fill. We really didn't need that much fuel, but they're filling up the fuel all right. Like, I was just like, you know what? But yeah, nothing beats a good 3 hours late, but that's all right.
Fire.
You get home.
It's always good to be home after those trips.
Well, no
Yeah.
matter what, we're all back. Nice that we had these experiences, that we got back home safely.
I have one last thing, though.
Jesus
I
Christ.
have one last thing. Deep dish.
Why don't you end the fucking... Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
This is important thing to mention.
The food, yeah. So I got distracted with
No, I don't give a fuck
the
about the food.
escargot
I want to
and-
talk about the
Deep
picture that your
dish.
girlfriend sent
Yeah,
me.
so put this picture up. I wanted to act like I was interested in a slice of pizza, and now I look like I want to fuck this pizza.
Yeah, Mariatti sent me a picture of off-guard Dylan looking at a fresh deep dish pizza, and Dylan looks like he's coming. Like, Dylan looks like he's coming
Yeah,
in his pants.
And then I ate the pizza, and it's like the most mid shit. It's like not even good.
It's not New York,
It's not
bro.
even good.
It's not.
They use like marinara. Like they don't even use like the regular like
Yeah.
pizza sauce. It's like slightly different. They put the toppings at the bottom. It's called the topping.
Right,
It
right.
works. It like with like pepperoni. It's kind of good. It gets like really cheesy. I get it. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, completely.
It definitely looks more like a pie that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
On Sunday we got takeout from like all of the other types of pizza. We got Detroit deep dish, we got tavern style, which is like super thin. Those were all way better.
Oh, I love the thin
Damn,
ones.
I want to try all those
Yeah.
slices. Like a Chicago
We got to be
dish.
worldly together.
Yeah.
We got to go do
Yeah,
some
let's
shit.
do it.
I'm down.
All right.
Do some shit together.
It's time for the other worldly part of this podcast, the JMDM Bam Slam of the Week. I can go real quick because
Yeah.
I know mine's off the bat.
I know mine too.
I went on a crazy music binge. I really like that TikTok, Spotify shit they got going on, where you just
Yeah.
like swipe through the song and it plays like 30 seconds. So I was in an alternative R&B kind of mood the other night, and I found a song that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So shout out to the song "Charge It" by ENNY,
Okay.
British R&B artist. She's really good.
Nice.
That's me.
Very nice. My yam of the week is a random ass song, but I was listening to it. Uber and Lyft drivers in Chicago literally play whatever, right? So it's like they were playing like rap music. It'd be like the dirtiest shit.
It's
in
like
the car.
that in Vegas. Too.
Yeah. Or like one guy picked us up and he was like an African guy and he was playing like West African rap. Craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. But I'm actually gonna pick in one song. There was a Lil Peep song playing in one of the Ubers. So shout outs to "Crybaby" by Lil Peep. That driving with the skyline,
it's a vibe.
good shit.
It's a vibe. This YouTuber that makes funny like movie reviews with like a bunch of GIFs overlaying it. He just announced, I think it was yesterday, that he made music, and he says, and this is like legit music. He says like, I'm not being goofy in here. This is like a passion project of mine, and it's done, and I'm uploading it. It's not anything on his new album, but on his early works. I like his art hand. Like his name is Mask Boy X, and the song I'm choosing is called Young Durden Morning. It gives off like Playboy Cardi vibes.
Like Durden. Tyler Durden.
Okay.
My BAM is gonna be a new Lil Yachty song that I was listening to over there when we were driving back on like the last day. It was fucking mad late. Everyone was just asleep. It was kind of a vibe. It's called Solo Steppin' Creep Boy.
I know that.
Fire. So shout outs to those songs.
That's music right there.
Shout outs to traveling. Shout outs to experiences. Shout outs to family. Shout outs to Disney Paris. Shout outs to Adeline. Shout outs to
Lulu Blue.
Ty.
What's Lulu?
Shout outs
His
to
restaurant.
Lulu Blue. I'm glad you got it. Shout outs to Lou's Blues.
There we go.
Going to work. Yeah.
I love Blue's Clues. Man.
Honestly, on a bit of a cheesy note, shout out to the Deep Dish.
Hey.
It's great to have you guys back.
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to make stuff again. I'm especially excited to not have to make these again on fucking Mondays and Tuesdays, to have more time to work on them and make them special.
Some good old weekend shit.
But it's been fun. So make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Team Joystick. Fucking get ready for more content, because I'm super psyched to be making some content. Get ready for a certain cooking show coming up pretty soon. Get ready for a new set, because a new podcast table was purchased. Mr. Chef, it is Mr. Chef. And fucking, it's just gonna be a lot of fun here lately, or soon. I don't fuck words, you know.
Upcoming
Verbs, adjectives. Get the fuck out of here.